What platform do you use, or how do you build the digital twin? On what grounds do you build it?
It all comes down to asking the question why. So I always say, when I'm talking to people, I always ask the question why, probably 3 or 4 times. Why do you need that? Why is that important? No, why is that important? No, why is that important? And then you get down to the real problem, because we're not selling the digital twin without solving a problem. It's just a paperweight on your desk. Okay, unless it solves a problem that is real and valid and you can point out to it, it's not going to do any good. No one's going to get engaged with it. No one's going to say, oh, well, we could use it for this or that. So platforms I use really depend on what we're doing. But I'm guessing that there are plenty of people out there. You've just had, this is sponsored by one of them. There are people like QPix. There is all sorts of Preview 3D. There's all sorts of different excellent platforms out there. I think you just have to figure out, what do I need it to do? In many cases, you don't need a 3D model. You can do a digital twin from 360 imagery, and that's perfectly fine because it's given a 3D context. It's not accurate to a millimeter or a centimeter or even a meter. But what it does do, if I'm doing facilities management, I'm not going to say, well, that light socket behind me, it's 20 millimeters out. No, you just want to know it's in room 203 and it needs fixing. And it's the third one on the right. That's all you need. So the idea of accuracy geometry is not so important to an awful lot of users. The problem has been is that an awful lot of people who bought into the technology are surveyors. I'm a surveyor. I need to put survey control in. But the vast majority of my clients don't care. They just need to go, I need to know how many chairs, where's the fire extinguisher, where's the safety valve? Okay, a fireman going into a burning building is not going to take a tape measure out with him. He just wants to know, where's the emergency shut off for that gas valve before we all blow up. It's that sort of thing that you have to think about. So the platform can depend. If I'm solving a very simple problem, that's fine. But then you can get really complex ones. So if I'm using it to manage the maintenance on my oil platform, there are platforms which are great for that. Because what they're doing is they're using a 3D there, but they're linking it to a SQL database, and that's the point. And the interesting thing, it's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of system that I would use if I was shopping at Amazon and wanted a pair of black jeans. All it is a visual image, and then you click on a bit to search for stock in my waist size, but it goes to a SQL or an Oracle database.
Okay, so just to simplify this for the audience, when you're saying you're building a digital twin, you are not saying that you are like custom building something in Unreal or Unity or whatever. You're simply just picking the right tool for the right job. Okay, so you identify problems of the clients to the very bottom, to like the very core of the problem, and then you pick the best solution on the market. Is that correct?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I mean, the other question to ask is, who is going to be using it? So it's about what do you need it for, but then who is going to be using it? Because you could have a very simple thing. So it could be a 360 tour, like for example, the paper machine. What we did there is put that tour on a tablet, so people can take the digital twin, visual twin, whatever you want to call it, on there and then tag things as they go along. So it's a portable device. Okay. One of the things we don't do is using AR or VR. VR's sort of in digital twins is great to look at, but hardly anyone uses it. That's another conversation. But if I want to say use it for, so managing information, knowledge capture, 360 tour with some geometry to help me navigate around is perfectly fine. I don't need to spend a fortune on this. The other key question that comes up is you have to ask yourself 3 questions. Is this a short-term thing? In which case I could use Matterport. Okay. It's a long-term thing. No, I'd never use Matterport for that, because I need to know what my exit strategy is, that I've got control of my data, that I can move it around wherever I want. Okay. I own all my own original information. And I think the third thing is about budget, and that is how big is the problem. You know, you could spend £1 million, but if it's a £100,000 problem, it's not going to work. So it might be simple as let's set up an app on your phone or on your mobile device which works for you. It's about looking at what is appropriate, but then also thinking about the future, because one of the big things, and I talked about this in Prague a couple of weeks ago, is this whole idea of not interoperability, but being able to use data from different places. OpenUSD, which we may come on to later on. OpenUSD, I think, is going to change the game for digital twins and the construction sector, AEC construction sector. I'm just doing a model at the moment where I'm modeling a factory and I'm modeling it Rhino, but it connects directly to Omniverse, which is a OpenUSD platform.